Death Stranding is now available on PC Game Pass, and it's available now to more people than ever. The only place you can't play it is a Switch. Imagine a Switch version of Death Stranding. But considering how well it plays on the Steam Deck, who knows? This is the first game from Kojima Productions, led by someone who could be gaming's biggest auteur, Hideo Kojima. After a nasty break from a previous place of employment, Konami FK during the final months of production on Metal Gear Solid 5 and pre-production on Silent Hills, it's interesting to wonder what from those projects, especially the latter, could have migrated to Death Stranding. It's not hard to come to some conclusions, with Norman Reedus being the protagonist in both Silent Hills and Death Stranding. The inclusion of Silent Hills Street as an Easter egg in Death Stranding, and other looser comparisons, like the rapid decay of environments between both games, a dead mother named Lisa, and some enemy comparisons. Sadly, we may never know, but if you want to know more about Silent Hills and the Silent Hill franchise as a whole, it could be worth keeping an eye on this series in the future. But with more people than ever playing this unique experience, it might be hard to keep up with everything the game throws at you. So today, PC Gamers asked me, Porter Extraordinaire, to take you through the world of Death Stranding.
Sam, I think you fell asleep as I was explaining things. You've got to know this before heading out, so I'll just carry on from where I was. Okay, you're leaving. Is this on?
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges.
Sam, I'm just going to start from the beginning. This is important stuff, okay? The most important central lore mechanic of Death Stranding is the beach. This is, for all intents and purposes, the afterlife, and to our mortal eyes, it does look exactly like an infinite black sand beach. But when you die, there's a place before the beach that you must pass through in order to get there. You with me so far? Life, midpoint, afterlife. At some ill-defined point in the future, the titular event, the Death Stranding, occurs, and this causes this in-between place to merge with the living world. And so things that die can't properly reach the beach anymore, and hang around as BTs, or beached things, so named because they can't reach the safety of the next place. So you might be thinking, so what, there's ghosts, what's the worst that's going to happen, they're going to move a chair across a room? Well, there's a little catch with the BTs being on Earth, in that when deceased human corpses, which BTs are attracted to, interact with BTs, it creates what's called a void out. Picture the climax of Akira if it was happening during the final portions of, the Bible. And this happens every single time someone dies. This isn't the only issue caused by these spirits hanging around either. BTs mess with the very fabric of time and space, leading to the formation of timefall. This nasty rain fast forwards everything it touches, and as you can imagine, that leads to some issues for anyone trying to exist outside. This collision of matter and BT matter leads to the formation of chiralium, strange energy crystals that form hand-shaped clusters in the environments. After the apocalyptic arrival of the BTs, the world basically ended instantly, but in the aftermath, the last remnants of America grouped together in underground cities called knots. This is excepting a few doomsday preppers and other types who live separately, but nevertheless, most folks came together to form the United Cities of America. The problem is that there's no way of sending things between the cities, and you can't rely on things like roads, trains, or, well, just anything above ground. So that's where porters come in. These independent delivery people are experts at traversing the voided out landscape of the future. But because the BTs are still hanging around and hungry for more, it's tougher than just a hike. However, some people have a bit of an advantage if they're afflicted with dooms, a disorder caused by chiralium that gives people some special connection to the realm of BTs. Dooms gives people special abilities that vary from full-blown flying and teleportation to the ability to repatriate, a concept inspired by the ancient Egyptian concept of Ba and Ka, the two aspects of a person acting similarly to a body and soul, which, simplified, denotes that the soul will live on if the body dies, hence the burning of the dead in the game and the BT's attraction to corpses. Similarly, repatriation stops you from being able to die as long as you can find your physical body. However, not every porter has dooms, so they have to take advantage of what is perhaps the strangest part of Death Stranding lore: bridge babies. What is a bridge baby, you may ask? I'll tell you. The in-between world isn't just something you go to when you die. Your spirit forms from this place before you're born, and as such, the unborn are connected to the beach. Of course, naturally, this leads to a system where mothers, named still mothers, are kept in a chemically induced coma. Their babies are removed and put into false wombs, and porters hook them into their bodies in order to see BTs. Of course, naturally.
You mean still mother?
Correct. A still mother's womb facilitates a connection between the world of the dead and the BB. And you, in turn, connect yourself to a BB, granting you the ability to sense BTs.
So to be clear, the afterlife is a beach, the beach and Earth collided, now there's ghosts that blow you up if you die, the ghosts make energy crystals, the crystals make some people have superpowers, others connect themselves to a baby juice IV to balance out not having powers. Death Stranding. I feel like I might be moving a bit quick here. Let's take it a bit slower, like a walk through the dry fjords of this game, and talk about fictional political strategy. After the destruction of America, the current president, Bridget Strand, ignore the name, forges a plan with her daughter, Amelie, to rebuild America properly, not just the occasional material trade between cities. Together they begin the Bridges Project, which aims to use all of the chiral energy that's been thrown out by the BTs, along with whatever tech the not cities have left, to create a brand new internet. That's right. The main plot of this game is that you have to walk to people's houses and set up the Wi-Fi. It's great. At first, the Bridges project is going well, but as Amelie is going from the East Coast to the West Coast with her crack team of engineers, they run into trouble with the Homo Demons cult, led by the gold-masked, Troy Baker-voiced Higgs.
I'm Higgs. I'm the particle of God that permeates all existence.
They really, really don't want America to be connected. They decide that the best course of action is kidnapping Amelie. This is basically where the game picks up from. Oh, and before I forget, Amelie is also Sam's sister.
You're free, but we're still connected. Don't tell me we're not.
So that is, unbelievably, the baseline starter knowledge you need to know to get going on your journey to reconnect America. There are a host of interesting characters to meet who all have their own backstories that will be explained to you in excruciating detail over the course of the game. There's also Higgs' master plan, involving a mass extinction event. But that's for you to discover for yourself. And with that said,
You ready for your journey to start, Sam? Well, I could just start from the beginning, when he's woken up.
You're probably wondering why I'm back on screen. Well, this series is called expLOREation, not recitation. You could go a million places to find out about Death Stranding lore, but here, we're gonna have a deeper think about the game and its world. Now let's talk questions. And this is questions I have after beating the game twice. Sorry. So, spoilers ahead for anyone who hasn't played. First, BB. At the end of the game, Sam decides to adopt BB and releases it from its pod to live in the real world as a real child. But what about the still mother? Does she stay in an induced coma? Who is she? Someone who is in an accident? Or a volunteer? Or worse, forced into it? And not to mention, a father could be in the picture, which could be a whole thing in a sequel. Perhaps this is something that could be explored in the next thing in the Death Stranding series, be it a sequel game or a manga or something. Speaking of men coming back into the picture, we're never explicitly shown Higgs dying. only Fragile giving him a choice and then hearing an off-screen gunshot. We never see what happens, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a return in any future Death Stranding media. I also wonder about the beach. It's implied the beach isn't actually the afterlife, just a purgatory state on the way there. And we know that the afterlife isn't the ocean, as we see Sam in the ocean during repatriation. The implication being that you die, walk out of the sea onto the beach, and eventually move on to the next place. And you will always be alone. Everyone has a unique beach in the game, but do you meet up after you leave, or are you alone forever? Likely, this line of questioning is the kind of thing where the place beyond the beach is unknowable to our puny living minds, so maybe thinking about it is folly. And that closes us out for our exploration of Death Stranding. If you have your own thoughts about the game, please tell us in the comments below. And please like the video and subscribe, and share the video with friends because it genuinely helps a lot. See you next time.
How do we do it? Do we jump like Fragile?
No. The beach goes the whole way. We run. Together.
Run?
Yeah. Like Mario and Princess Beach.